Hi, welcome back to the channel, A Busy Retirement with me, Georgie. This video is going to be me cleaning out this corner of my patio, and as you can see there's a lot of pots, a lot of plants, statues, there's all sorts down here. Now some of these pots are actually part of other projects and they will actually be put up for sale at some stage when I can get around to finishing the projects. In the meantime, what I'm going to be doing is trying to sort it out so it looks a little bit tidier. And you can see I've got two stools there that I've made into plant stands. I'm going to keep those. I might have to move this one elsewhere because my eldest son and daughter-in-law have given me two plant stands, one of which I'm trying to lock the door down so it doesn't blow in the wind. This one here will actually fit on that wall, so I can put some of those pots on those shelves there. And then this one here, that timber shelf sits across this one here. I don't know whether to keep this shelf or not. I'll show you the other end. It's starting to pull apart. It looks like chipboard, so getting it wet won't be any good for it. So I can either put a couple of pots that way or I could put more pots that way and fit some elongated ones. I've also got this small plant stand that's going to need a clean up and a paint job done on it. But back to this one, I've even got hooks up here on this, so I can actually hang my gardening tools and be able to find them, because at the moment I have to go searching inside buckets and on shelves. I never put anything back. I actually put it in a bucket that I'm working with, so that's where my biggest problem lies, and then I can't remember where I've put the bucket. So that's going to go, this one here is going to go against that flat wall. I'm actually doing this at the moment with a selfie stick and the mobile phone, but I think for the next bit I'm going to have to set up the proper camera on a tripod, otherwise I'm going to get myself in a mess. So I will see you in a little while. First thing I need to do is remove this platform and melamine piece of board that is actually disguising itself as a craft table at the moment. So these are going to need to go. As you can see, I've used it for painting, all sorts of weird and wonderful things. And even the platform itself is covered in paint. So I've just got to, where is it? That one there. That one. And one on that side. Now push the legs in. And that can go there for now. And then I'm going to move this over out of the way so I can get right into that corner. There's really a lot needs doing. Now, I'm going to be heavy breathing, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk to myself, but I will speed this video part up because you don't want to watch me moving stuff around. It's a bit boring again, so let's have fun cleaning up a corner. Okay, it wasn't a good time to be videoing. School goes back, it's what, Thursday today? School goes back next week. So the gardener's out there doing all his cleaning, mowing, got the blower vac out. So I don't know if you can hear me over this, but anyway, that is the shelf in the corner. All I've got to do now is, I got some builder's plastic. I'm going to cover that shelf to waterproof it. So that's the next thing I need to do. I think I might put some pots back on those shelves. Not sure which ones to put because none of them have actually got plants in that I want to grow on there. So I might have to leave that till I sort out what I've got here. What I'm doing now, I've decided to take all those little pots off that window ledge and put those on the shelves, because at least then I've got some greenery on there. Now what I am doing, I have 2 empty pots. I've got these little cacti that have got lots and lots of little tiny spines on them. So to protect my fingers, because I've done this before and it hurts, I'm going to use this cloth to hold it up while I pop the soil in. I'm going to make a big mess here, but I don't care. I can clean it all up later. Okay, that's that side done. Let's get some of this off here. Tip it in there. Now I've got to get some behind it. Okay, that'll do. Let's get that cleaned off. I have to get a brush or something in there. Blow it all out. Pop the little pink one there. That was a bit silly really. Oh, don't matter. Let's see, pop that back in there for now. Go and get the other one. These are actually getting lost in behind this. This used to be just one stem, and now it's this huge thing that's taking over the pot. I'm going to be splitting this at some stage. Oh, okay, this one has actually got, I don't know if you can see, it's actually got 3 little babies growing at the base. I'm going to have to pot this one very gently so I don't bury those babies. They're basically going to have to sit right on the top of the pot. They are hidden underneath, but I'm hoping that they'll force their way out. I haven't packed the dirt in tight. Now, somewhere I have got, there it is, a jug. I'll give them a drop of water. Some water too. So there's a... Okay. So the bottom shelf. What have I got? Haven't got anything else I can put on that bottom shelf yet. I think I might use that for... Oh dear, decoration maybe? He needs painting. Somebody's done a paint job on him, but not a very good one. That's why he was given to me to fix. Will he fit is the question. Oh, just. So around him, I'm going to put my cute fit gnomes. He's doing toe stretch. I think he's actually just watching. And he's touching his toes. That'll do that. Now, that means I'm now going to have to change this whole corner because I've now got the glass flowers to find a home for. I've got my tea set to find a home for, which means I might have to do something on this side as well. I don't know yet. We'll see. I don't want to spring this over and covering the window. I'll see I'll see where I can go with it. It's a very small area, really, to work with, but I'll get there. Okay, so what I need to do now is cover the shelf. So I shall be back shortly. Oh dear. Oh, I don't know. I am dripping. The bum app says it's 25.6 degrees here at the moment. My phone app says it's 30 degrees. I don't know what it is. All I know is I am wet from sweat. Anyway, what time is it? I actually put a battery in my clock too. So it's now almost 10 to 3 on Thursday afternoon. So this morning I went out, and instead of having other things disguised as craft tables, I went and bought myself a folding craft table that's nice and light. And I just got to open it. Let's see. I haven't tried opening it before. There we go. And then those legs up. Those legs up. And the top is now already scratched. But that's okay. I'm going to leave all that on there for now. I'm just going to cover it until I get myself sorted properly with a plastic tablecloth. So I can put that on when I'm painting. And then what I got was for any cutting work. Let me get this too. I bought myself some, they're actually called self-healing mats. So supposedly when you cut with your knife, it actually heals the cut that you've made in the mat. I'm not going to use it today because what I want to do is join those together somehow, so I've got a decent sized mat to work with. Now what I am going to do is the builder's plastic. I've moved my bin. Let me see. I could actually leave it doubled. That's dusty. I don't know if I should, if I do it that way. Turn that over, and then on that side need a piece. Let's move it over a bit to there on a chalk line. That's my cutting line. I'm dripping on everything. It's got writing on that side. That's oh, okay, that's interesting. It's doubled again. All right, let's wrap her up. That one that way. that one over there. And then that can go under there. I don't have any tape at the moment, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. That can go at the back. And then this lot can tuck under the front. And there we go. That actually now covers, move my table out the way. You can see it's now covered and protected from water, so the shelf won't get wet. For now, I'm just going to pop that across there, if I can do it without wrecking anything. Because I need to now get this table out of here and take it back into the big patio as a side table. Okay. And then I've now got more statues. Let's sweep that bit out. Where did I put the brush? Hey, I don't do soft drink. This is actually 0 sugar creaming soda. Don't like sweet, sugary drinks, but I need cold and fizzy. Oh. Oh, that's good. If I see a dead mouse, that's the end of me. I won't be doing any more till somebody comes and removes it. I have a real phobia. And a few weeks ago, I had a rodent problem. My poor neighbour had to come down 4 days in a row to get rid of a dead mouse out of my kitchen. I do not like them. So I'm warning you, if you see me just down tools and run, that's why. Okay, so now I've got behind here a tile that I used to use for craft as well. That was the one I used to use. I used to use that for cutting with a Stanley knife, so I didn't wreck anything else. Oh, oh bloody. It's all right, not rodent. It's just a lizard. I disturbed him. I have a lot of lizards and I don't worry about them. It's just the shock of him moving quickly. He's taken off that way somewhere. I actually came out the back door one night and there were 2 little lizards and each one had hold of the back foot of the other and they were just going round and round in a circle on the wall trying to get away, but they were the foot was in the mouth. Now, whether that's a mating thing, I've got no idea. But it looks so funny. Typical, just like kids, they're doing something interesting. You go and get your camera, and what do? They stop. They took off in different directions. That stopped that fight. Okay, so now down here, I can put, I think, I need to see if it will fit, the white stand. I'd really like to get it painted, but at the moment I think I'll put it in just to see what it's like before I do that. Let's get this cleaned off. Let's go and get the other one and see if it fits. Please fit, please fit. Look, not quite. Move you over a bit. Move you over a bit. That. Perfect in there. Okay. Oh, jeez. No, I might leave it up in case I've got any potting to do. There's, there it is. Give it a bit of a dust. Okay, this one, the stamens came out of the middle of the flower. I need to get myself some more glue to stick it back in. Let's get you, see if you'll fit on those side shelves. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. And then that one broke. I don't know if I've done a video on that one. There's part of the dish from behind. So this one needs fixing. I've just got to find another saucer to go behind it. And that, I think, will look really pretty. Now I've got to figure out what I'm going to put underneath and on the top of that. And I think that is enough for today. I'm worn out. I'm hot and sweaty. And I need to go and put my feet up. I'm going to play with editing this part of the video. I'll see you when I come back. I've almost finished now with the new plant stand in the corner. As you can see, I've got some gnomes there. I've also put some small pots with plants in. I'll take you a bit closer so you can see up at the top. There are 3 pots behind those gnomes. Let me see, can I get above? Okay, you can see the plants in there. You can't see me, but that doesn't matter. Okay, and then there's 3 pots here behind the toadstools. They need to be repainted. I've got 2 little ornaments there with 1 plant, and then I've got 3 more down here with 2 gnomes holding little flower bowls. And then I've got down here also, this one is going to be moving, this pot here. I'm going to split this plant because it's just taking over the pot, but it needs to be in a wider pot because these flowers, this little, it doesn't look very big yet, but when that opens, that is going to take up a fair size space. So you can see I've added more decoration now to the plant area. Of course, I've got my good glass flower and the broken glass flower. Okay, this shelf system here actually comes with baskets, but I didn't need baskets at the time. I just needed something that was open so I could get to stuff as I was working. I've got the power board to charge all my batteries for my tools, spray paints that I was using. I've got a couple of broken gnomes down there that are waiting to be fixed. A container full of bits and pieces of projects that I'm going to be working on some stage down the track. And you'll have to excuse me, wipe my face. I'm absolutely dripping here. It's, what time is it on that clock? It's 12:40, and on my thermometer it says it is 40, what does that say? 44 degrees underneath here at the moment. That's 44 degrees Celsius. So anyway, where this stand is, I actually commandeered a plant stand. We did a clean up of my stepmom's house over the weekend, and she had quite a few plant stands out in the back garden for all her pots and her gnomes. So I commandeered one of the plant stands. It is a bit rusty, so I'm now going to be getting rid of the rust and give it another coat of paint, and then it will stand in here, because I've also got all of these pots down here that I need to do something with. Put plants in. Some of the plants I've lost because I hadn't been home to look after them. So there's still quite a lot of work to do in this area. So I will see you back shortly once I've got everything ready to get the plant stand fixed up, de-rusted and repainted. Okay, see you soon. These are the pieces for the plant stand, and they've got WD-40 in each of the posts where these actually sit. So these are covered in WD-40 as well, so that we could get it apart. Of course, WD-40 leaves very greasy. So what I've done, I've got a bottle of degreaser. This is really good stuff. It's by Glitz. Get this from Bunnings. I use that all the time. It's great in the kitchen for your pans if you're doing any frying. After you've finished, wipe it down with a paper towel to get the excess oil out. Pop some of that in hot water and it clears the grease completely. So I'm going to go around and just clean this off to make sure I've got no grease left on it before I start sanding. Otherwise my sandpaper is going to be a mess. I'll speed you through this bit. Okay, that bit's done. There's a lot of rust on there. I'm going to try and do it with sandpaper, but I think I might have to get the Dremel out with the sand belt on it. It'll be a lot quicker than doing it by hand. That's an 80 grit, which is quite rough. So I'm going to get a piece of that. So it's not wasted, I cut it into smaller pieces. It makes my life easier, so I can just roll it over now. Can't use that hand. So the Dremel with the wheel would be a lot easier. I think if I just get the main clumps of rust off, I think I'll just be painting over it, it'll be okay. These posts are the main one. I've got to make sure that they're going to fit into these holes here, these little pipes, without getting stuck. That was the problem we had pulling it apart, was they'd actually rusted into here. So if I can get the majority of the rust off and get them nice and smooth, they should slide in and out easily. This might be a trip to Bunnings for me. I might go and get myself some rust remover. That will dissolve it all. Some of it's in really good condition, it's just odd bits. I suppose being a plant stand, it's going to get water on it. Might actually put some rust inhibitor on it before I paint. That might be a better way to go. Let's see what happens to your sandpaper. It just gets wrecked. And there's still a lot of life in that yet. Hi, sorry that cut dead halfway through my little project. I was still talking to you and explaining what I was doing, and I realised that the screen was blank. So I went and turned it back on, and there was a message to say the temperature is too high to use the camera on this phone. Okay, learned something new today. So I'm going to have to resort back to the Lumix camera, which is a pain in the neck to use at the moment. But what I was saying was the rust is too thick for me to get sandpapered just by hand. Because of the temperature, I would assume that there's a fire ban on at the moment, so I won't be able to use an angle grinder to grind it down. I have a little wheel that I can use on my Dremel, but anything that creates a spark, you can't use if there is a fire ban. I don't know if there is, but I'm assuming there is because of the high temperatures. So I'm going to go to Bunnings probably between 5 and 6 o'clock when it cools down a bit, and I'm going to get some rust remover. Now, I don't know how long I have to leave that on before it works, possibly overnight. But when I get it, I will come back. I'll do a little video of putting the rust remover on and explain the instructions for you, and then I'll continue the video once the rust remover's done its job. It might only be an hour. I don't know how long it takes. So I will see you when I get back a bit later on. It's I don't know, what time is it now? It's only 1:24, so I'm going to work inside the house where the aircon's on, so I'll see you later on. Well, the good news is I didn't have to go to Bunnings. I already had some rust remover in the shed, so I've had to wait. It's now almost 7 o'clock. My phone app says it's 32 degrees outside. My thermometer here says it's 35 under here at the moment, so it has come down a bit. It's very still. There's no wind, no sea breeze, so I'm going to get this done as quickly as I can. Now, I did read the instructions and I had to take a photo with my phone so I could enlarge it because it's tiny writing. And it says that it could take anywhere between 1 and 24 hours to work. So we'll get as much done as we can tonight, and I might leave it then and see what it's like tomorrow, maybe about 5 o'clock if it's not too hot, because I think it's going to be quite warm tomorrow as well. So I'm just going to put as much on as I can on the main rusty bits, but it does say to go over and remove it from the parts that are not rusty. I don't know why, because it's supposed to also form a barrier. So it's not just a rust remover, it's a rust converter. So I would expect to leave it on all parts. So at least when you paint over it, you know it's going to be good. I'm not too worried about the underneath because you're not really going to see much of the underneath. I wore gloves to protect myself and I'm splattering it on my arm. I'm going to keep talking so that the camera keeps running, because I am using the Lumix this time, just in case it's still too hot under here. So I'm going to keep talking, but I will speed up the camera. So what I might do is just keep my head down so I don't look like I'm being weird with my mouth moving. Okay, this is nearly finished. I think I've got a lot of it's not even got any rust on it. It just seems to be odd spots. So whether it's because there's had a lot of water there, I don't know. But we'll see how we go. I think that will do for tonight. I might check it first thing in the morning just to see, because it's quite light here at 5:30 a.m. So if I wake up in time, I will come out and have a look and see how it's going. If it looks like I can get the rust off, I will. And if it's nice and cool in the morning, I might even be able to use the angle grinder before it starts getting hot. Not if there's a wind. If it's very windy, I won't be able to do it. But now I've got that left. What am I going to do with it? It's toxic waste. I can't put it back in the bowl, in the bottle, because it's got rust in it now. I'll find a bottle to put it in. And what I do is toxic waste, I do it with my cooking oil. I get a milk bottle, pour it into that, one that's got a lid. I'll do the same with that. I'll find a milk bottle, I've got some in there, put a lid on it, and then when I go to the tip, they have a toxic waste section, so I can leave the cooking oil and anything else, paint or whatever, you can leave at the toxic waste section. So I'm going to leave this now for tonight, let this do its magic, and hopefully we'll get rid of a lot of rust tomorrow. I'll see you then. Hi, I decided not to continue with the plant stand because this video is already quite long. I don't want to bore you, so I'm actually going to split it and do the plant stand and the rest of the patio transformation as a second video. I don't know whether you like the long format videos or if you prefer shorter ones. If I could keep them down to half an hour and maybe do them in part 1, part 2, sometimes even part 3, whatever. Pop it in the comments below and let me know which way you prefer to go. Do you want to have a long one where you can just sit, put your feet up, have your lunch, have your dinner, whatever. So anyway, I'm ending this one here. It has been quite warm. I've also had some really busy days. I will explain that in the next one. Otherwise, this is going to continue to be very long. What I'm going to do now is remember the puzzle from last week. You remember what it was? 6 feet underground. Okay. And now for this week's puzzle, see how you go with this one. And have a great week. And I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.